I'm in quarantine with Giovanni Spano, also known as Gio, who is the chief deviant of Deviance. Lovely to talk to you again. Did you like that?
I love that intro. That was amazing. Thank you very much.
You have to use that now in your bio. Chief deviant of Deviance.
Chief deviant of Deviance. Yes,
yeah.
I'm going to use it. Yeah.
It took me almost 3 seconds to work that one out. Anyway, please like it. We spoke recently with the whole band about what you're all up to, and you've got a huge amount going on, which is fantastic. But you also mentioned that you've got your own solo project. So I want to hear all about it. I know you've got a new single, an EP dropping September, October time. So fill us in.
So basically, you can pre-order the new single on August 20th. The song is called Reinstate the Rock. Okay. And to put it into a nutshell, Reinstate the Rock is basically, the best way to describe it is, it's that 11 p.m. feeling when you've got your arm around some sweaty stranger, you don't know their name, you give them a kiss on the cheek. And as I said yesterday, it's the anthemic feeling that you feel inside you. You're all galvanised together, just going absolutely amazing. The synergy is incredible in the room. The atmosphere is awesome. And you're just going, whoa, living on a prayer. Like, you know, somebody singing really badly in your ear. And it's just positivity. It's fun. It's party vibes. You know, it's those Kiss rock and rolls all night. I love rock and roll. Those sort of things. It's just, I'm trying to bridge the gap between pop and rock, and hopefully just sort of, you know, fuse the two together and see this world just combine. And also, I would love for rock and roll to be where it truly belongs, and that's in the mainstream charts every single week. You know. I want to see kids back with guitars, you know, and doing that sort of thing, which I think we saw a resurgence of in the early 2000s, but then it sort of faded out again. It's gone a little bit too electronic, if you ask me, at the moment. And now I just want to see real singers, real bands. You know, I want to see all girls in bands. I want to see, you know, the boys and the girls in the bands, just like fun times. So. That's what this song is about, and the EP, it's just an extension of myself, really. I've been saying recently that I love ballads. You know, I love power ballads. I'm massively into them. A few songs by Alterbridge, in loving memory of, and Watch Over You, and you know, we were watching things like Mr. Big yesterday, and some of those 80s power ballads were just the most incredible things, and they inspired me to write. Some of the stuff that I write is probably perhaps a little bit too soft for doing it with Deviance. You know, being the chief deviant of Deviance, I have to write for them as well. But I also have a little side of me that I wanted to let out and for to hear. So I wrote some nice songs, put them on an EP, which is, the title is still to be decided. We haven't quite decided it yet. Okay. There's a few ideas sort of being thrown around and whatever, but I want to get the perfect one, because I want people to see a part of me, an extension of me that they haven't seen before. So
right.
I think once they hear the songs, the description I used was shit the bed. They're just going to be very excited, because I'm incredibly excited about it, and I hope that everybody else is, because it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, because I've been lucky enough to hear Reinstate the Rock. It's a great track, and it's exactly as you describe, a real party anthem. But I've not heard the other songs on the EP yet. So do they follow in a similar vein? Are they kind of upbeat and
there's you know, four songs in total.
Yeah.
And I've decided to go equal measure. I've gone for two that are quite up tempo, being Reinstate the Rock, and another song called Non Toccami, which is Italian for Don't Touch Me. And then I've got two ballads as well, which I will let you know when we're not recording. I'll let you know in secret, Anne. I'll let you know in secret.
I look forward to that.
A couple of ballads that they truly mean a lot to me, and I'm just so excited to get every single one of them out. You know, the final date that we're going to get them out, it probably will look, it looks more like it will be October, but I'll be letting everybody know the date as soon as possible. We just want to do everything right and make sure that the right people like yourself have heard it before it sort of gets released to the masses. So, we're excited. I say we're, it's because my family have been sort of dealing with me whilst I've been dealing with it, because it's quarantine or whatever, and I'm around them all the time, and me stressing about this or stressing about that, and they've also been giving me a ton of advice because I haven't been able to see anyone.
No.
Right? So, and I'm also doing it all on my own. I spoke to a friend from Classic Rock the other day, and he said to me, "Who's sort of looking after you and whatever?" And I said, me, and he was like, "Correct answer."
I was going to say that. That's the best way to do it if you can, because you've got your best interests at heart. Right?
Yeah.
So,
and I think, do you know what? It's so nice when you're like, dealing with press or media or people that are involved in our community of rock and roll. It's just so much nicer when you can actually liaise with an artist or liaise with a press officer or whatever, or somebody who has their own radio station or their own talk show. Do you know what I mean? It's nice if we can just interact together as opposed to going via somebody all the time. You know? Especially when we are a big family.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, you mentioned that you're doing this all on your own. So what's happening with your bandmates at the moment? Have they played on the new EP? Is it them?
Yes, they have.
So you're not doing all the instruments as well?
So basically, I write with a guy. No, I don't write with a guy. I wrote the music myself. I produce with a guy called Frankie Torpy, and he used to be. I can't remember what band he used to be in. He used to be in a relatively sort of new metal band, and they were quite big at one point. So he did a few bits and pieces for me, like he did the drums, etc., and stuff like that. But Sawyer from my band Defiant, he did bass and he did the guitar on it. I wrote all the songs, so I just got the boys in and sort of said, right, can you do this for me? So I worked with Frankie and I worked with Sawyer, and then I did the rest of it. The other boys will feature in the video. So when the video drops, which the song comes out on September 4th officially, pre-order from August 20th, and then September 5th the video will drop, and it's going to be brilliant. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of fun, and it's just it's exactly the face that you're pulling now is exactly the face you're going to pull when you see the video. And that's literally like what my intention is for the whole. Well, everyone to sort of not be too inebriated, but to have had a drink in their hand and just having a good time, and it makes you smile and makes you want to grab the nearest person next to you and tell them you love them.
Yeah, I mean, I read that, a lovely description. I've also read, this track grooves hard and will be the gateway for the pop youth to jump on the rock and roll train. That's very nice. So you mentioned about trying to bring rock back into the mainstream.
Yes.
How do we do it? What's the answer? Because there's plenty of bands, plenty of new and emerging rock bands out there. So how do we get them from where they are to the mainstream?
Yeah. I think the more that collaborations that can happen within the rock and roll world. Rock and roll. Yeah, rock and roll. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a Chinese restaurant, isn't it? Horrendous. I think the more collaborations that can happen between, like, I have this idea that I would love to do like a new age sort of version of Aerosmith's Walk This Way, with Run DMC. And there's tons of artists like your Stormzy's and all sorts of those sort of people. If you said to them, do you fancy doing it? Do you fancy doing that sort of track? I don't mean that track exactly, but I think they'd be super game for it. I don't think there's one person when that song comes on and that riff sort of drops, that they're just like, nah, not feeling it. You'd have to be an idiot.
But Walk This Way. That is one of my favourite songs to dance to. Oh my god, I could not. I mean, I love the original.
I love the original, but the one with Run DMC is.
That's my favourite version. Aerosmith Run DMC. It's perfection.
Yes,
absolutely.
I think the more we infiltrate, the more we do, and the more quality that we release within the industry, I think is integral. I think it's also important not to redo or rehash ideas and keep being innovative and keep bringing new ideas to the table, and not to be a closed book either. Like, don't say, all right, we're just going to be our little tight knit community and our family, and that is that. Open the doors, perhaps, you know, and let them in. You know, think about new ideas, and let, you know, because sometimes we can, you know, shut off the rest of the world and be like, well, you never let us in, so so we don't want to know. I think that's the way of unlocking the mainstream chart and infiltrating pop music, because at the end of the day, you know, you listen to my new track, essentially, you know, like the Beatles and whatever, it's a pop song. It's a pop song with steel, you know, with real instruments.
Yeah.
And, you know, you've got a big solo in there and stuff like that. It's it's just a big old anthem for the masses and for the good times.
That's what we need. We need something to cheer us all up after this lockdown. Oh my goodness.
Right.
So after lockdown, are you planning on doing a solo tour once the EP's been released?
Now, I think that I will probably do small shows on my own. I will do some small stuff on my own. I don't want to go too crazy because I think you know, perhaps it might appeal to another audience. So I just want to test the waters to begin with and see what happens with new fans, perhaps, you know. So do nice little shows and perhaps do maybe not a Q&A, but have people sort of comment and talk about it whilst I'm doing in the show. So a bit of an interactive show as well as a concert. But we will also be playing them with the boys as well, because obviously, you know, the boys, Sawyer's played on it from the band, and all the other boys are sort of, you know, endorsing the release as well, which I love that the boys are behind me with it all. So we will play them together as well, which is incredible. They actually said to me the other day, they were just like, oh my God, let's let them reinstate the rock. And I was just like, yeah, okay. And you know when you're like pleasantly surprised, because you know some people can get a bit.
That's it.
You get a bit touchy about this and that and whatever. Yeah. And you don't want to tread on people's toes. And you know, I've been with these boys for 10 years. You know that we spoke about that last time. Yeah. And the fact that they just, you know, behind it 110%.
That's brilliant.
Is wicked. Is wicked. Got a lot of love for them for that. So and I also said to them before I did it, I was just like, boys, do you mind if I've got a load of ideas in my head that I don't know if they'll be right for the vines. You know, can I do it on my Jack Jones? And they were just like, yeah, go ahead. And I was like, yeah, did it, and I'm loving it.
That's brilliant. Yeah. And it's great you've had the opportunity to do this as well, and that the band has been behind you. You know, because there's so much pettiness in all industries, I'm guessing, but in the music industry as well, and people, so much ego. So to actually be able to do what you want to do, the way you want to do it, is just the biggest blessing, really.
Yeah, and that is what you just said there. What you just described is one of the reasons, or the main reason, why it's holding us back from being where we should be with rock music. Although, you know, those Damn Crows did really well the other day in the charts and stuff like that.
Yeah, and Massive Wagons.
Yeah, Massive Wagons doing really well, as you know, which it's incredible. It's great. It's great to see. But you know, as you say, just those certain things, they need to be eradicated from our music.
Well, I think that's easier said than done. Ego and the music industry kind of go hand in hand, but you know, it doesn't have to be that way, and that doesn't necessarily need to be a negative thing. It can be turned into a positive, I think. You know, if everybody wants the best for the industry going forward. So one last thing, I know obviously theatre's been hit very hard by coronavirus, and you were very involved in theatre.
Big time.
So how has it affected you, and will you be going back into that?
And I'd love nothing more than to be, you know me, it came hand in hand, you know, my music and my theatre came hand in hand, and they both worked really well together, and I gained fans from musical theatre, and I gained fans from the rock and roll world, and the fact that those two they bridged over as well, which was lovely to see. People who had only ever seen theatre come into the rock and roll world was just incredible. And I did that essentially. I was a musical theatre person who liked rock and roll music, and then slowly sort of segued into the music world. And it was, you know, I've been honoured to sort of be invited in, which is incredible. It's been a really, really, really tough time for all of us. You know, not just myself, but we've been shocked. We've been shocked. To say to somebody one day that your world no longer exists has been really, really hard. And it doesn't look. I mean, we had a bit of good news today. You know, it's basically indoor shows have been allowed now. But they have to be socially distanced. And unfortunately, it's not financially viable for the producers of musical theatre to open their doors. Because they just can't make the money back. The amount of money that it costs to put on a show every single night. You know, yes, there's 30 people on stage, but then you've got front of house staff, and then you've got marketing, and then you've got all the backstage crew, and the sound engineers, and the lighting, and the sets. And it's just like, it's not as simple as just, you know, whacking a bunch of people, bunch of twirlies on the stage for 2 hours. But you know what? The future is looking slightly optimistic. But yeah, we have been hit hard, and I will be returning with bells and whistles on as soon as we can. I mean, Rock of Ages just got announced for next year, which is quite incredible. So who knows? Maybe I'll do that. I mean, personally, I would love to do a lovely classical piece like Les Mis or something like that. So it's a complete like juxtaposition for everybody, you know. One day you'll see me as Chief Deviant in Deviance, and then the next day you will see me as, I don't know, Jean Valjean. No, it'll be back, and you know, it'll be stronger, harder, faster, and more amazing than it's ever been. So super excited to have it back when it comes back. And fingers crossed it's soon, because there's a lot of people that have been affected. You know, I'm working at Amazon now. You know, I'm working.
I heard this. What are you doing at Amazon?
I'm doing the day-to-day stuff. Like, they've cross-trained me. They've been amazing. They've been amazing with me.
Oh, wow.
So I'm literally just doing like jack of all trades at the moment. Like, I'm training to be a personal trainer and a sports massage therapist. I'm working at Amazon. Like, you
can't do much massage at the moment.
No, nothing. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, social distancing and whatnot. So you know, it's. I suppose out of a negative has become there's been a positive, because I've learned how to do new things, and I've met new people from walks of life that I would never ever meet in my normal day to day. So, because theatre's all I've ever known since 12 years old. You know, I've been doing shows.
I can just imagine you there at Amazon singing to everybody. Is that what happens?
Pretty much.
With your mask on.
Do you know what I did, Anne? Right, I was walking around, hair like sort of in a ponytail, hat on, right, and with my mask on, and my boss comes and finds me, and I'm like, okay, hi, am I in trouble? Like, thinking I'm in trouble. She was just like, "You are Giovanni Spano, yes?" And I was just like, "Yeah." That was a really bad accent. I was supposed to be Polish, but it wasn't.
Oh, okay.
You are Giovanni Spano. All the girls have been talking about you. You were on the X Factor, no? I was just like, oh, I thought I got away with that one. I just literally just wanted to work hard, stick my head down, and get on with it. And she's been working my ass off anyway, so she's no preferential treatment. It's been You work hard. She is lovely to me, and it's been, as I say, it's been nice to meet new people from different walks of life, because I don't think I'd ever experienced that if we hadn't have had this pandemic. And this, let's be honest, it's only going to be once in a lifetime, isn't it? So.
I mean, we're all learning to do things we didn't before. I've never used Skype before this, so.
There you go.
Now here we on Skype.
You're a G. You're an absolute legend on Skype now.
Amazing.
And that
it's made me think I don't need to do face-to-face interviews anymore. You know, I've just become lazy and just say, no, let's just do a Skype. And that won't go out again. Hopefully that won't happen. But yeah. So lovely talking to you anyway.
Pleasure. Absolute pleasure.
Yeah, and I wish you all the best with the new single, Reinstate the Rock, and the new EP that we don't have a name for yet.
TBC. So guys, make sure that you pre-order August 20th and download it on September 4th. So so it'll be available for your ears, nice and fresh, September 4th. Thank you so much, Anne. You're a rock star. Love you very much.
Great chatting to you again, Trio. Loved it all.
God bless. God bless.
This is rock and roll, burning out to my soul.